Alright guys, this is Tony. This is my new camera. Check it out. It's not new, but I got it off eBay for like 15 bucks. Love these cameras because they're waterproof and just generally awesome. Hold on. So Dave Beers made a good post. There was some discussion about coils or something, and he posted a link to some kind of a detecting website where it showed the inside of a Commander Coil. Well, I've got two busted Commander Coils, or they're not working. I don't know why. An 11 inch and an 18 inch. So I'm going to try to take them apart so we can see what's inside. I think that's pretty neat. And actually, Dave, the link Dave put up, there was a couple guys in there that had taken them apart. But this old girl seen some use, buddy. We're going to do a cadaver dissection. How about that? Okay, I took this knife and I basically went all the way around the first time and just kind of scored it all the way around the coil. And I've taken the cover off, as you can see. Sometimes people talk about worrying about dirt that gets inside the cover. That doesn't quite make sense to me, because if the machine is balancing out, you know, like if you're balancing the machine, it should balance that out too. I don't know, but that never bothered me, and it never seemed to bother my digging, so I'm never worried about it. But anyway, I took the cover off. That left this bottom piece, and I've scored it all the way around twice, and it finally broke through, and I'm going to take it apart right now. You can see the opening there. March 31 March 11. So that tells me that's probably the manufacture date. Almost certainly is. Now here is what appears to be the coil itself. Isn't that neat? Here, let me get this thing situated. Okay, I'm going to try to pull this thing out of here. And the reason I'm taking the time to do this is because, I mean, I got nothing to lose, and I've got knowledge to gain. So now I can already see that this is going to be difficult or impossible to pull this off, because it's going to be attached to that. So let me see if I can find a way to detach that. Okay, I was wrong. It was much easier to detach than I thought. And as you can see here, there's the wire going into the coil. One of the guys on the thread, or the link that Dave Beers posted on mytreasurespot.com, one of the people in there was talking about an epoxy that shouldn't be letting water in. Okay, let's back up for a minute. Okay, you've got the lower rod comes down this way, and of course it attaches to this, or this attaches to the lower rod, however you want to say it. It's easy. Many times there's a crack that develops here, and that's what happened here. So you get a crack there. That let in a bunch of soil right here. Well, I say a bunch of soil. It let in some moisture. Now, I don't know if that would have caused it to go bad. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. I really don't know. But I'm going to continue to take this apart, see what we can find. Alright, so I took off the coil cover, cut the coil open. You can see the underside here, the lower rod goes on the back of that. See that? And I think the reason there's dirt right here is because this is where the, yeah, look there, you can see, hopefully you can see that. See that? You can see my finger on it. Darn this camera, I can't get it to focus like I want, but there, you can see my finger on the other side. That probably is what caused this thing to go bad in the first place. But so what I'm getting ready to tell you though is it's got this sort of like a heavy paper type substance that they have taped onto the inner workings of the coil. But if you look here, this long piece of tape right here in the center, there's a wire running through there. And when I try to take off the bottom section of this, way back in there, the wire goes through and down into the foam. So this is all this blue stuff is like a foam, real dense foam. Back out here, there we go. Really dense foam, see? But there's that wire going through. So the back, so out here is where it is, and it's going through. No idea what that does. Have no clue. So, I mean, I feel kind of weird tearing this thing up, but I don't have anything to lose because it's not working, so it can't get any worse. So let me take it apart some more and get back with you. Okay, you can see the tear marks from where I pulled that tape off. I temporarily stuck the tape up here, and when I did that, it released this wire. And here you can see it. It's looks like the very end of it is just plain wire, but the body of this, the center portion, looks to have some kind of a black coating on it. I have no idea what that's for. But man, this is the inner workings. So this is a big, thick coil coated with some kind of cloth. You've got epoxy covered wires going around the outside here. That's open. That's not covered in epoxy. I don't know why. I'm sure it doesn't hurt anything. It's not covered. And epoxy may not be the right word, but that's what it looks like. Okay, we talked about that wire. That wire had actually had come out of that hole right there and gone through the paper. But as I was removing the other side of this thing, there was also wire attached back here. And as I pulled it off, the wire, of course, pulled through all the foam. And it goes, let's see, it goes in there, comes out here, and actually loops down around the wire that goes to the coils. So don't know what that does, but like I say, I feel kind of goofy for tearing this thing up like that, but it certainly can't get any worse because it wasn't working. Alright, here's where things get interesting. Look at that. It's not just a couple wires somebody packed in here. That's some kind of a, I don't know what you call that, but there's some technology down in here. So one thing I noticed, when I tug on this wire here, there's two wires actually going in there, I can't move the inner workings. It doesn't work. Which is a good thing in my mind, because that means a coil, all the attachments and the epoxy around that are really tough. Like I'm tugging on it pretty good right now, and I can't make it wiggle, so that's good. All right, I don't know if this has been helpful to anybody or not, but at least you know what the inside looks like. One thing I should mention, see how this to me is where the signal comes out like this, straight out like this. So if you think of the signal as being kind of like that, you know, that's why double Ds have better separation, is because you can have a thin field coming out rather than a big cone. So hope that makes sense. What's under here? Let's see. Nothing. I guess I put that there. And then under these two, there's a couple little wires. Feels so weird to be taking apart a coil that would normally cost like $300. Tiny little wire. One comes out and goes that way, and another one comes out and goes this way. They both do the identical same thing. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I don't know what it is.